Okay, you write story. Okay, my first job. Because when you write review ni, takut the way you write it not as interesting as you are writing your own story. Because when you write your own story, it's actually your own story. You can create and be imaginative. You can add in dialogues, everything. Memang actually I would recommend students to write story. Pilihlah story sebenarnya. This is for part 3. Remember there are 3 parts, right? The title is my first job. Bolehlah create apa you punya first job. Maybe your first job was actually working as a factory operator ke, ataupun news vendor ke. Story about Akli. Boleh teachers? Siapa Akli? Akli is the best school. Oh, your school. Can? Okay. So that's why I'm giving you the focus now on story, which is narrative. Okay. Imagination, creativity, choice of words, elements of surprise, phrases used. So 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, C is for content. CA, communicative achievement. O for organization. L for language. Okay, 20 marks, 20 lines. Intro, body, conclusion. Intro, hook. A good intro will definitely arouse the reader's interest. Characters, plot, climax. There should be some lessons to be learned. Write in the past tense. Okay, when you are writing story, it should be in the past tense. Sebab benda tu berlaku dah lepas. You are actually narrating. Tulis balik apa yang you telah alami. Stories will touch on your senses. Notes, plan, write, edit. Okay. So language use must reflect your ability as a fifth former. Use simple, compound, and complex sentences. Good choice of phrases. Okay, components of story. There are story, plot, characters, chronology, narrative. Okay. And then when, where, what. Kenapa teacher fokus dekat part 3 story ni? Because inilah yang paling susah nak score. Because dia you kena tulis banyak kan. So dia cara pemarkahan dia tu a bit stricter. Even though it's 20 marks. So dia akan strict. Examiner lebih strict kau bahagian ni. Because this is part 3. Okay, setting of story provides reader with context on the narrative such as describing the when and where of the setting. Okay, so help move the story forwards and show the sequence of event. First, once, one time, to begin, to start initially, middle, then next. Ni semua dipanggil sequence connectors. Okay, so different ways to begin sentences. Contoh begin with verb ending in ing. Gagging for breath, David ran to catch the bus. Okay, another one, with his backpack flopping, David ran to catch the bus. Dia tak kata one day David saw a bus and he tried to run to the bus. Tak ada. Itu dah ayat-ayat sekolah rendah. Okay, frightened he would be late. David ran to catch the bus. Okay, hurriedly, David ran to catch the bus. Okay, there are so many ways you can start an introduction to a story. Okay, swoosh. David ran to catch the bus. Down Main Street, David ran to catch the bus. Okay, dia tak guna Dia kata ran tu menunjukkan berlari nak kejar bas, menunjukkan memang desperate lah. Sebab dah lewat kan. Okay. Make your reader care, introduce cerita tu. Don't spill everything at once. Give your narrator a voice. So usually awak gunalah diri awak sendiri ke? Sendirilah. To introduce. You say I. Bagi nama pada I ni. Okay, introduce other characters. Okay, the genre student, a Chinese story. Alamak, because you beramai kan. Can anybody like trying to read the story? Definitely cannot. So let us enjoy reading this Chinese story of the genre student. Lin Piao used to absent himself from classes very often, and one day, okay, we are talking about just now, my first job, right? Can I have like an introduction from all of you on how you can write this introduction for the story? Boleh tak rasanya? Teacher nak tengok macam mana you all tulis. Boleh kan? You can write in the text box in a way, ataupun baca ke macam mana ke kan. I give you like 6, tak payahlah 6. Okay, 10 minutes introduction. Okay, you have to like write an introduction, intro for the story. How do you go about? My first job. Okay, I give like 10 minutes for everybody to write just a short. That's why lah. Saya tak pernah kerja lagi. You have to imagine. Imagine. Nah, apa you punya first job? Boleh je lah, maybe after SPM, you punya first job jadi ustaz mengaji ke. Imagine. Okay? Boleh 10 minutes Is it okay for everybody? I just want to check whether you have got it right. Because we just take a break for 10 minutes. I need to go to the washroom, and then by the time after 10 minutes, I would actually like to hear from all of you. At least teacher panggil lah 3-4 orang ke. Macam mana you tulis the first introduction of your story. Is it okay? Boleh Kan Tak ada ni pun respon pun.
Boleh teacher, boleh teacher.
Okay,
Teacher boleh.
Okay, sure. So 10 minutes. Please write an introduction for your my first job. Even though you tak pernah kerja ke, tak apa. You just imagine. Bayangkanlah apa pekerjaan pertama awak sambil tunggu SPM nanti next year. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to read out your introduction for my first job?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, okay. Anybody would like to share their introduction? You can write in the chat. Okay, I have entered the age of 18. It's time for me to enter the world of work. The first job I ever worked was to be the savior of the earth. It was to be an Ultraman. I got inspired by Pak Jabit. because he told me about Ultraman. So many times I got a power from planet Mars and to be an Ultraman. Okay, this is, okay, honest review. It doesn't go well with me because this is unrealistic. Definitely unrealistic. Okay, I can give you credits for the imagination, but if everyone wants to become an Ultraman, who will do all those other jobs, right? Sorry, I'm just joking around. Okay, father, can I become an engineer like you? I asked him curiously. Of course you can, nothing is impossible. Okay, daddy is 45 and he got many achievements in his career. These are the words in my mind. When I started my internship, it felt like a blink of eye time was past. Here I would like to share about how I got my very first job. Okay, quite interesting, Badiu Zaman, but you can work on your grammar. Okay, quite interesting. Had my mom help me apply for my job, but the search did not stop. Okay, quite interesting. This one you can simplify it. Make sure you have write it using past tense because you are talking about story. It's supposed to be in the past. Okay, well done. But this one just now siapa yang tulis ni? Tak ada nama. Ultraman tu kalau teacher lah, teacher tak bagi you markah tinggi because unrealistic. Remember, this is SPM. It's a serious matter. If you buat macam main, when you are joking, the marks given also joking lah. Okay, Damia, getting my first job might have been one of the most significant challenges I have faced and overcome. Okay, so typo dekat sini kot nokta ni. Only 17 with economic struggles within my family, I felt I needed to come forward and help my parents by working. I was never asked for help from my family thinking I was too young to be responsible. Once I turned 18, I thought I would have been easy to get any starting job, but I was wrong. I'm so frustrating. I went home afterwards and had my heart. Sama je, my help me apply for my job. Quite interesting, tapi sama je. Okay, when I first start my first job, it was nerve-wracking. With others, I believe there was no exception. Sama je. There is a couple. Okay, of course we do jobs around. So what actually is your first job? Maybe you can start off with when I started turning 18, I started thinking of like applying for jobs just to get some extra money. My first job was actually sorry teacher. Okay, remember your introduction is the most important thing in your story, because the first intro tu people would have guessed, boleh macam clue, tahu apa benda you all nak tulis. Kalau tengok first introduction pun macam tak menarik, the examiner pun macam tak berminat nak meneruskan baca habis. Seriously, I'm telling you. I entered the exam for me, the first job, helping my family at the store. It little hard for the first, it was hard for the first, but I got easier after day by day I work. You have to work on your grammar ni. Okay, anybody else? Ada lagi? Sebab story ni actually yang paling senang for you to
Teacher,
score.
can I share my answer?
Yes.
After a long break after SPM, I decided to start my life career with something that I can do it on my way without bothering my parents. I chose to teach something. I chose to teach some knowledge about Quran to my relatives and my childhood friends from my lovely neighborhood. After a quick discussion with my parents, they agreed to allow me to begin my first job.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Quite interesting, but you have to work on the way you write it. Okay lah. Or maybe you can start off like this. My first, after I turned 18, I started thinking of getting my first job. Since I was learning Quran, I have actually managed to finish my Quran reading at my school. So I finally decided to become a Quran teacher. Then you start lah apa-apa benda kan. You can work on it. Remember, to be able to write better, you have to practice. Practice writing, tulis. Then after tulis tu, work on that grammar. Another thing that I can share with you, bila you, let's say you have your computer, right? You tulis dekat computer, you buat dekat Word, and then after that you pergi dekat dia punya check grammar and spelling, masa time tu dia akan bagi apa benda yang you kena perbetulkan. After that you keep on writing the same paragraph tapi tukar je lah. Contoh. Okay. That is story. Ni contoh-contoh lagi. That is your introduction. Dia guna characters apa semualah. Okay, so this is a Chinese story. Let us enjoy reading this Chinese story of the generous student. Okay, this is a very compact, short and precise story. Lin Piao used to absent himself from classes very often, and one day the principal of the class, okay, ada message. Everyone has their own first job, so do I. Dear readers, do you have your own first job? I believe everyone has their own first job, whether they tell anyone or not. Job is something you need. Okay, quite interesting. Yeah, well done. Okay, something different. Okay, Lin Piao used to absent himself from classes very often, and one day the principal of the college made up his mind to expel him. So he sent for the young man. Lin arrived just as the principal was about to go for lunch. Is this the time to come? Said the principal sternly. Forgive me, sir, said Lin, but I got to college very late today. You see, I found a lump of gold in our field. A lump of gold, said the principal, his eyes popping out. Oh my, what are you going to do with it? I decided to build a palatial house, buy several acres of land and several head of cattle, said the student. I also decided to give you a small sum for the trouble you have taken in educating me. The principal was pleased and invited Lin to eat with him. The young man ate ravenously, but the principal hardly touched his food. He was wondering how much Lin would give him and if it would be enough to buy that small paddy field he had always wanted. I hope you've kept the gold in a safe place, he said, suddenly coming out of his reverie. I never got a chance to do that, said Lin. It disappeared the moment my mother shook me awake. What? Screamed the principal. You mean it was all a dream? The young man nodded. The principal controlled himself with a great effort of will. I'm happy you remembered me in your dream, he said. Finally, I hope you remember me when you really get some gold. Now please leave. It was only when the young man had left that the principal remembered why he had sent for him. So C is 302 words, is compact, precise, but there's a moral lesson kan dekat sini. So your first job tu patutnya cerita pasal apa yang moral lesson you dapat. Okay, so tengok ni contoh-contoh short story. This one also. We see it together. 244 words. The gleaming light of the sunset pours over the glowing gold field, each blade of grass swaying within the light breeze. I look out my window. You could describe the sunset as a heaven only few get to see. I was lucky enough to be one of those people. This is the definition of happiness, pure happiness that excels higher than everything else. Nothing can overcome it. Leaning on my windowsill, slowly watching the moon replace the sun for the night, the cool white light now shining down onto the field, the calm composure that few can feel in this hectic time. The breeze has yet to go away, continuing to slowly run its fingers through the field. I can only wait for the next day to come, to feel the warm sun come back and illuminate the field once again. Okay, the tall buildings have covered my view. My only chance to feel something again, the beauty has once again been taken away. I want to reach out my hand to steal the sun out of the comfortable blue sky, but I cannot. I can only stare down onto the corrupted street, waiting to fall into the abyss. The moon now takes the place of luminescent crescent that gives off a sweet feeling of relief. The worries will drift into their own slumber. And so will I, hoping my chance will once again return tomorrow. If only I could watch the sun forever. Okay, this is talking about corruption and everything. And then tall buildings. Okay, there's a check here. Yes, 2-3 perenggam okay, but actually better still 5 lah. Okay, this is only this one from United States punya. But actually better still 5 paragraphs. This is also a short story, 3 paragraphs. This one you can read on your own. Okay, it was Katya's 20th birthday and she was looking forward to seeing her friends. They were meeting at Mamma Mia's, her favorite Italian restaurant, for a special birthday party. Katya was excited and got to the restaurant at exactly 7 o'clock. The time they had arranged to meet, she looked around for a familiar face, but no one had arrived yet. So she decided to wait outside and stood patiently in the warm evening sunshine. The restaurant quickly filled up with customers, but none of them were Katya's friends. Where are they? She thought. At 7:30, she was still waiting. So she called her best friend, Isa. Why doesn't she answer her phone? Katya asked herself. Then she called John, T, Alex, and Yoko, but they didn't answer. What's going on? She wondered. At 8 o'clock, Katya went home. Her friends had forgotten her birthday and she felt lonely and miserable. She opened the front door and walked into the dark house. The living room door was closed. How strange, she thought, because she was always left it open. Nervously, she opened the door. Suddenly, the lights went on and all her friends jumped up and shouted, surprise! So they hadn't forgotten. And in the end, it was the best birthday ever. Okay, check. 200 to 250 words. It can be more, but not too much. Up to 300 something pun boleh kot. Tapi jangan banyak sangat. Kena tengok. Yeah, reka. Yes. This one, Diana. SPM, while waiting for the results, I decided to work with my mother. Okay, fashion designer. Yes, very good. Okay lah ni, introduction ni. Diana, it can be accepted. Okay, when you write a story, use the past simple, past continuous, adjectives and adverbs, direct speech. See, teacher dah bagi sample story ni, you have to write in the past tense. Understand? From the sample, you can see the stories are actually short, precise saja. Tapi dia memberi makna tersendiri, ya, meaningful. Okay, how to write a short story in 10 easy steps. Read widely, get a great idea, experiment with techniques, take inspiration from everyday life, start writing, add more levels to your writing, edit, rework, revise, repeat. You have to write every day, tulis, tulis, tulis. Focus on your beginning, your introduction just now, and your ending. Your ending ni mesti ada bagi macam tu impact, you know. Ada lesson to be learned. Ask someone else to read it. That's why teacher suruh you all tulis. Okay, teacher, thank you. Right. And then this one boleh tengok sendirilah. This is also another short story. Ni rain pelted on the roof and wind lashed the walls of the hospital. Yet no weather could compare to the monster I was battling. Okay. I drew my sword, held my shield close to my chest. I didn't blink, didn't move. I didn't flinch. My gaze never broke away from this monster that took over me. It lashed out a claw at my chest. And then the coughing grew stronger. No man could brave this without surrender. I sighed, dropped my weapons. I had given, I surrender. Monster, Corona, you win. Coronavirus. Okay, so these are all these vocabulary that you should use when writing. Okay, all these are confused words, except, a while, principle, who, whom, imply, infer. Jangan confuse pula. I'm just giving you some sample of words. And then you use adjectives for your story. Adjectives are words that describe the qualities or states of being of nouns. Okay, they can also describe the quantities of nouns. Determine, grubby, grumpy, glorious, narrow, outrageous, friendly, frightened, frothy, mysterious. All these are actually adjectives. Okay, for example, they live in a beautiful house. She wore a beautiful dress. He writes meaningless letters. Ben is an adorable baby. Okay, let's try to do this 2 or 3 exercise. Okay, the first 3 for exercise 1, number and color adjectives. Okay, the green tree look very healthy. So what is the adjective here?
Healthy.
Anybody can answer? The green tree look very healthy. What is the adjective here? Adjective ni kata sifat. The word what? Green. Yes, very good. Those who have answered green. Okay, what about number 2? We're talking about number and color. 10. Yes, very good. 10. What about number 3? 5. Yes, very good. Okay, we move to this comparative adjectives. Longer, bigger, better. Kenapa adjective ni penting? When you write stories, you need adjectives. Because when you write stories with adjectives, it gives like another meaning to the sentences. Jadi you punya ayat tu tak boring tau, tak bland. Sebab ada adjective. Sebab adjective ni kata sifat. Okay? And then we have subject verb agreement. All these are important when you write. Tak kira lah tulis apa story ke apa, memang penting sangat. Okay, subject and verb must agree with one another in number. Is, was, our, goes, go. Penting ni. Teacher tunjukkan. So at least you tengok ni, you actually will take it seriously lah. Okay, okay, let's do these 3 things. So to check on your subject verb agreement. Okay, number 1, the first 3 sentences. Number 1, the dog what? Chases or chase? Chases. Satu. Number 2, Miss Han, one or once? Yes, once. Let's check here. Yes, once. Okay, babies, please. Okay. Okay, because plural. Number 4, 2 teachers run or runs? Run. Miss Laura jump or jumps? Jumps. Our snacks taste or taste? Yes. Number 7, apples are or apples is? Yes. Miss Kang eats or eat? Eats. Feng Su likes or like? Likes. The shepherd boy lie or lies? Lies. Nobody believes or believe? Believes. Nobody. Plural. Tak ada seorang pun. Believes with S. Number 12, Mrs. Han bake or bakes? Bakes. You know what is brookies? Brookies ialah brownies and cookies. Girls watch or watches? Watch. Mrs. Zhang make or makes? Makes. Okay, some tips to ponder. Read a lot to gain higher level of vocabulary and good grammar. Time your pace. Always practice writing. Do lots of exercises. Write within stipulated length. Okay, ni untuk speaking pula 3 parts. Students do it in pairs, warm up, talk about a topic separately, discussion on a topic, come to a conclusion, part 3. Ni teacher saja je bagi. Okay, finally, these are the criteria for getting the best grades and essays. Hudson. Okay, effective vocabulary, use expressively, precisely, good and relevant points. Coherence in paragraphing, ada paragraphs tersusun. Well organized paragraphing. Essay is very interesting and shows originality. Jangan ciplak. No plagiarism. Okay. Good essays should be without any major grammatical, spelling and punctuation errors. Make sure you know them well and apply them when you write. Okay, effective use of varied sentence structures. Many students face problems with the sentence structure of the English language. Okay, because the problem can be solved through plenty of reading. Okay, you have to read a lot. Spend lah masa nanti baca story books ke apa ke, magazine, newspaper. Expose yourself to different types of sentence structures. Wide vocabulary, use expressively, precisely. Jadi reading yang akan increase your vocabulary. When you see a new word, look it up in a dictionary to learn its meaning. To score high marks, you need to show that you have a wide vocabulary. For example, you can use delighted or overjoyed instead of happy. Jangan guna perkataan happy. You use what? Delighted. Instead of using sad, you use upset, downhearted. Try not to use the same word repeatedly. The thing is you have to impress the examiner tau. Awak kena tunjuk yang awak ni terror. Awak pandai. That's why boleh bakar tinggi. Wrong use of words result in mark deduction. Jadi make sure ayat yang digunakan sesuai. Okay, so reading will actually expand your vocabulary. Okay, guna dictionary, good and relevant points. Ni kalau macam you pergi dekat argumentative essay. If you write about other things such as your friends' hobbies, that would be irrelevant. So kena relevant. Coherence in paragraphing. Well-organized paragraphing. Coherence tu maksudnya fit together well. Essay is very interesting. Dia tak cakap pasal boring, membosankan. Okay, you have to write interestingly. Okay, practice writing essay. Macam teacher cakap, tulis. Besides school assessment, try to write more essays and have someone qualified to correct them for you. Okay, when you make mistake, learn from that and make it a point not to repeat them again. Not to repeat them. Okay, in order to improve your writing skills effectively. Remember, there are no shortcuts to success. Essay writing skills take time to develop. There goes the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, look at the past year papers. Tahun ni tak ada past year paper. Memang you all memang semua baru. Okay. So, teacher stop yang ni. I will continue the other one. Can you see this? Nampak tak? Ke tak nampak? Nampak? Sekejap okay. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, you use awesome words just now because keywords are great for catching your audience attention just now. Okay, high level vocabulary will set you in another level. So basically, we have finished, but I would like to share with you things I found from the internet. Okay, how to write short stories. Short stories. In some ways, so actually you can spark off your ideas. Pick any newspapers ataupun you browse sites, Instagram for pictures to spark your imagination. Try working your way. Ni boleh tekan lah. Nanti teacher akan bagi dia punya link dia. How to start writing. Okay, the first one you have to do is just sit down and write. Okay, some people, they like to have a clear plan. Others, they will work out on a rough plot or idea. Jadi bila once dah tulis tu, tulis je. The more you write, the more you practice, the better you become. You see, short stories tend to have some sort of beginning, middle, and end. They could do with a character of 2. Okay, so something should happen. Mesti ada something, ada climax dia. And then selalunya better still, there's something to learn. Mesti ada macam moral values, tapi tak cakap lah moral values, no. At least when people read your story, there's something they can actually learn. Okay? It has to be interesting. Okay, so hook the reader's attention. This might be a cleverly plotted surprise ending, a moment conflict between two characters, main character, exciting incident. Check out the desire to follow the numbers and write a completely normal day in the life of a very average sounding person. Give the reader a glimpse of something different, a story that could only reside in your imagination. Maksudnya, when you write a story, something tu bila orang baca tu kan, wah dia baca teringat lah cerita tu, it should be interesting. Kenapa teacher fokus pada story? Because story lah paling senang untuk you dapat markah. Actually, sebenarnya. You ada 60 marks itu tau. Remember 60 marks ni, kalau you dapat 55, wah dah Alhamdulillah dah. 60 marks ni ialah 20-20-20 kan. Daripada markah story ni 20 markah, let's say you can get like 21 pun dah kira okay. 21 lah, sorry. 18 ke, 19 ke. Okay, and then when you write, maybe I think some of you are quite good in writing. Maybe siapa yang lemah tu kan, tunjuklah you punya writing tu, minta kawan check. Your teachers will check. But the first thing you have to do is you need to start writing. Okay? Start writing. Tulis je. Every day you have to write. Okay, so I'm open to any questions. Any questions you would like to ask? Have you managed to do some exercises for writing?
Yes.
Tapi teacher tengok just now macam sama je, berulang je ayat. You all kena ni lah, spend some time reading. Ni macam ayat copy paste je. Okay, you have actually 2 months to prepare. 2 bulan lagi nak prepare. Ada questions tak? Any question? If you are so macam rasa macam malu je, type je dekat dalam chat box tu. I will try to answer.
I have a question.
Ah,
I have 2 questions. Number 1 is,
anything?
teacher saya nak tanya. Ya, kalau untuk vocabulary ni, cukup ke hanya sekadar ambil dekat buku teks dekat 4 dan dekat 5?
Macam mana tak dengar?
Untuk vocab, apakah cukup hanya sekadar buku teks tingkatan 5 dengan tingkatan 4?
Okay, right. Buku teks tu actually buku teks yang CEFR, yang buku from UK tu kan? Macam mana nak cakap Itu sebenarnya sebagai sampel aja. But actually you have to follow, ikut format SPM. Contoh macam ni buku ni. Teacher ada buku ni. EPH Excellent Access for SPM 119 English. I just bought it. It's a good one. You all try pergi beli ni. Because I think you really need bab writing ni. Teacher tengok macam some of you really need to work on your grammar. Tajuk dia Practice Writing Excellent Essays for SPM. EPH is a good one. Sebab dia akan bagi you contoh-contoh. Cara-cara Okay. Another one you can buy is SBP. Teacher ni bukan promote buku tau. I'm just helping you out because I use this for my students as well. Kertas model peperiksaan sekolah berasrama penuh SBP, SPM Bahasa Inggeris. Beli ni. Ask your parents to buy for you. Ada 2 bulan ni you kena buat. I know maybe some of you dah stress dah ni. Nampak muka-muka macam mana aku nak hafal ni, mana aku nak tu. Take it as a challenge. InsyaAllah boleh. Orang yang hafaz Quran ni mesti boleh punya kan? Tengok dah okey lah English tu. Hati tu dah bersih, dah hafaz Quran. InsyaAllah. Setakat English ni kan kacang aje lah. Bahasa Arab pun you boleh. Ambil bahasa Arab ke? See? Bahasa Arab pun boleh. Bahasa Arab kan the most difficult language in the whole world. You can master.
Teacher,
Yes.
kalau andainya lah, if kalau bahasa Inggeris ni gagal, dia akan menggugatkan sijil SPM ke tak?
Bahasa Inggeris gagal tetap lulus SPM tapi takkan pergi mana-mana. You cannot go anywhere. Seriously. You cannot go anywhere. Tak ada orang nak terima awak nak masuk IPT. Serius. Walaupun subjek lain okey. Kenapa nak fikir gagal? Memang nak gagal dalam otak tu you dah fikir gagal, memang lala gagal lah. Cuba kata insya-Allah aku akan dapat ikhlas.
Just ask.
Okay, just ask. But don't ask me that kind of questions. Because when you ask that kind of question, that means you bersedia untuk gagal. Sebab you dah fikir you nak gagal. Patutnya tanya macam ni, teacher, what if I can get A+ for my English? Okay lah, boleh lah, sedap sikit kan? Because it's all in your mind, you know, it's thinking. Okay, kejap teacher nak jawab apa ni chat soalan apa ni? Tadi siapa? Dah jawab dah. Assalamualaikum teacher, kalau buat ayat terabur. Okay, ayat terabur ada markah. Tapi bahagian grammar tu sikit lah. And then communicative achievement tu. Benda message tu tak sampai. Jadi orang tak berapa faham, markah dia tak habis. Jadi macam ni tau. Okay, teacher bagi ni C, content Content dia 5. Okay. Communicative achievement 5. And then organization 5. Language 5. Jadi sama dengan 20. Okay. So let's say let's say lah ayat berterabur memang dapat markah tapi dia punya message tak sampai. Message dia tak sampai kan?
Tapi markahnya ada tak?
Apa dia? Markah dia sikit lah. Tak adalah dapat sampai 20.
Tak 5 setengah. Boleh ke tak tu kalau sikit.
Okay, anything else?
Yes.
InsyaAllah boleh punya. Tapi jangan fikir gagal lah. Kalau gagal memang hanya gagal. Kalau kita fikir kita akan lulus, insyaAllah tak. Macam ni. Kali ni memang boleh lulus. Boleh lulus. Yang susah nak dapat A+ je. sebenarnya. But provided you have to do well in all your 4 papers. 4 kertas tu kena buat. Siapa ni? Cikgu. You all belum buat lagi listening, speaking tu semua. Dah kena lah start. Writing ni semua. Buku ni dah ada tak? Buku macam ni? Ada. Kita dah beli. Buku modul. Dah kena start dah buat.
Modul
Okay.
ada.
Ni beli tajuk dia Mahir Peneraju Kertas Peperiksaan Kertas Model Peperiksaan SBP Mahir Holdings. This is a good book. Okay. So ada apa-apa lagi soalan? Rasanya kita pun dah habis cover dah ni. Kalau misalnya ada tertinggal, teacher akan pass lah dekat
Dah nak tak habis lah.
Dekat cikgu awak
Ha? Tak dengar suara? Dah pakai ni earphone.
Okey, ada. Okey, dah penat kot budak-budak ni. 2 jam. Okey, teacher Huda, cikgu Huda, ada nak buat closing ke apa ke? Malaysia base or school base or global base? Tak faham macam mana Malaysia base ni? Yang tandanya cikgu government school lah. Tapi dia akan tengok standard CEFR.
Yes, Teacher Nora, sorry to interrupt. Because
Yes.
if you look at the textbook, the question are based on macam if you are in college, you know, we talk about shopping, global environment, and dalam trial kita guna Malaysian base. In schools, you talk to your principal, you know.
Yes.
So that's my question. But this is the first time, so kita pun, if you have any tips on that lah.
Usually dia akan buat school level base dia. Dia takkan pergi global sangat pun.
Macam kita punya biasa SPM lah. Alright, thank you.
Dia takkan pergi overly because they have to take note on students daripada luar bandar semua kan.
Betul. Alright, thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, Cikgu Fahimah rasa dah boleh closing kot. Budak-budak pun dah penat kot. 2 jam kan? Habis tu maknanya dah penat lah tu.
Okay, so Teacher Nora for the sharing for today. Okay, so I hope that the sharing is will help the student for SPM 2021. Okay, so the conclusion, we should practice, of course. We have to on 5 skills: reading, listening, speaking, and also writing. So, any questions? So that's for you, Teacher Nora.
Okay, thank you as well for inviting me. Minta maaf lah kalau ada terkurang ke apa. Actually, I have this telegram for SPM. I created it early this year. Teacher akan bagi dekat link dia pada Cikgu Huda lah. Dengan Puan Nurhaili kan. Sebabnya I've created this because students keep asking me for the tips. Actually, I dah share banyak yang terbaru untuk CFR, and then there are other teachers as well. So you can join the Telegram. Tajuk di destination, nanti I share lah the link. Reading is number 1. Yeah, correct. Betul Amar. Correct Amar. Memang reading aja lah. Is the only way for you to improvise your writing semua, to expand your vocabulary. Okay, and then make sure you have the dictionary thesaurus. Memang you can use phone, tapi mampu banyak nak tengok phone kan, nak Google for the meaning. So better still, I don't have my dictionary here. Actually, I bought for my students untuk sekolah, beli banyak. So every time for English, memang I bagi budak tengok soalan. Bila buat soalan tu, they use the dictionary thesaurus. It's pocket size. Nantilah teacher akan tunjuk pada Cikgu Huda, maybe the school ke students can buy on their own. And then it's good to have this book. Sebenarnya, let the students do. Ada 2 bulan lagi to cover. And this is one teacher baru beli ni. Nanti teacher snap gambar tunjuk pada Cikgu Huda lah. Okay, so I will share the link for the Telegram. There are so many things I have shared. Sekarang ni senyap sikit lah sebab dah banyak betul share. Ada link on the video for listening everything. So insyaAllah you can just look at the things, material, reading materials dekat Telegram. And then for the teachers also, nak tengok soalan apa, percubaan pun ada. Okay, so I think that's all from me. In case kalau ada yang tertinggal ke tak cukup, I will go through Cikgu Huda and Teacher Haili. So thank you so much for inviting me. Halalkan mana yang terkurang ke, terlebih cakap ke, termarah ke apa kan. I meant well. Memang I layan pun macam budak-budak sekolah I juga. Okay. So that's all from me now. So thank you very much. I may leave the Zoom meet. I can leave boleh Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Kau man. Thank you, teacher.
Dulu.